Hey everyone, how you doing? It's me, Syl, and I'm back with a new video. As promised, I'm going to talk about the price of groceries here in Vietnam. Now, a couple of things to note. First thing is I'm in Da Nang. I don't know if the price will be that much different in other cities like Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi, or maybe out in the countryside. I'm sure there would be some variation depending on where you are, but I wouldn't expect it to be a huge variation for the same products. Number two is the exchange rates. I'm going to be talking about this in Vietnamese dong, and then I'll put it on the screen in Canadian and US dollars for those of you in Canada and the US watching this. But the exchange rate, just if you want to do the calculations on the fly, in Canadian dollars it is, I think it's like $5.90 for 100,000 Vietnamese dong. And 100,000 Vietnamese dong is about $4.35, I think, US, somewhere around there. So if you want to do the calculations on the fly, that's fine, but I will be adding the prices on the video. It's going to be a lot of work because I got a lot of things here to talk about. So let's begin. I'm starting off with the refrigerated stuff so that I can get it back in the fridge, and then I'll come back and do the non-refrigerated goods. So first off, oh yeah, and another note I should make before I continue is a lot of the stuff I buy is actually at the supermarket, kind of a mini supermarket, kind of almost like a convenience store nearby, because I'm near the beach. There aren't any large supermarkets near me, so I tend to buy most of my stuff at Vinmart Plus or at there's a place called Full Market, and those two places have a lot of the stuff you can buy in a supermarket, slightly marked up, but not so bad. If I'm going to buy a lot of stuff all at once, then I'll go to a larger supermarket, and it's worth, you know, the trip going there and back. But otherwise, not really. The cool thing, if you do go to the supermarket, like I went to what's it called, Vincom Center a few days ago, and if you buy 300,000 dong or more worth of groceries, they will ship it to you for free. So that's really cool. As I go through these, just assume that I bought them at the mini market nearby. So again, if you went to the supermarket, you'd probably save a little bit of money. I don't know, 5%, 10%, who knows? Not that much really. But if I bought it at the supermarket, then I'll try to remember to say so, that that's where I bought it. Okay, so let's begin. Here we've got NutriBoost. This I did buy at the supermarket. I paid 25,000 Vietnamese dong for this. So that's not a bad price. It's about $1.50 Canadian, I think. This I bought at a convenience store, Mini Mart. These are 17,000, so about $1 Canadian. Okay, I got to stop saying the conversion in Canadian. Again, just assume I bought at the Mini Mart unless I say otherwise. This one is 5,200, 5,300. This is a little, you know, daikon, very small daikon. It's more of, dai means large. So this is not a daikon, it's a mini-con. Okay, the cucumbers is the only thing here that doesn't have a price that I forgot to write the price on. I don't remember exactly how much I paid for these, but I don't think it was more than maybe 20 or 25,000 dong, if that, maybe even less. They were quite cheap. Here we have some fresh dill weed, less than 5,000. That's cheap. Oh, sorry, there's also this. I also forgot to write the price on these. A bunch of hot peppers. I don't think they were more than 10,000, maybe even less than that. They might have been 5,000. Anyway, they were really cheap. Mushrooms. Now these mushrooms I've never tried before. They're called King oyster mushrooms. I've already had a couple out of the package, as you can tell, but the whole box, or whatever you want to call this, was 40,000. This flour Yes, I keep the flour in the fridge just so that, you know, I don't know. I don't want weevils or something to develop. So this was cheap. This was 11,000. And, okay, so here we got, this is a bit more expensive. This stuff was, how much was this stuff? Apple juice, 41,000 for a liter of apple juice. The orange juice was a bit more, 46,000. I think I bought the apple juice at the supermarket, and this one was at the mini mart nearby. Sour cream. Now this I actually bought at, there's an import shop called Moon Milk, not too far from me. Sour cream is not cheap. This one was 120,000 for, you know, a container this size, about almost $8, $7.50 Canadian. That's not cheap, but I needed it to make my ranch dressing. So I sprung for it. What the hell? Here we've got a container of kimchi, 450 grams worth, so a pound pretty much. And lucky this was 50% off. You know, kimchi does not go bad. Like, you could leave kimchi in the fridge for like 6 months and it would still be good, I'm pretty sure. Might start to taste a little bit funkier, but it's not going to hurt you. At least, not as far as I know. So I figured 50% off, what the hell, I'll buy it. So originally it was 47 and knocked down to about 24. So yeah, right on. Cauliflower, look at that. This is a decent size. I mean, it's not huge, but it's not very small. 30,000 for the cauliflower, and it looks nice too, no brown spots. Not a terrible price. I think they're like, when I was in Canada last year, these things were like $6 Canadian. 30,000 is about $1.80, so quite a big difference there. This was incredible. Get 3 of these, okay? 3 of these pineapples. Now they're small pineapples, I know, but 3 of them, guess how much they were? All 3 together, 10,000. I'm not joking, 10,000. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was getting punked. 10,000 for that. Incredible. Okay, tomatoes. We've got some tomatoes here. I've got like 4 tomatoes in a little net bag, and that was 10,000. Look at that. Woo! I mean, in Japan, this would be like, you know, $4 or $5. It's crazy. Now, when it comes to mayonnaise, I prefer the Kewpie, the Japanese Kewpie mayonnaise. I do find it to be probably the best that I've had anyway. And surprisingly, it's quite cheap here. Bottle this size, 22,000. Not too bad, not too bad. You can get a bigger size, like a whole liter size, and you'd save even more money, but I went with that. Here we have some sesame Japanese dressing. Now, I don't know if it's made locally or something. This is also very cheap. I didn't write the price down. And it was like 20,000. It's very cheap. It's like $1 for this, less than $1 US. It tastes good. It tastes fine. The only problem is the cap. For some reason, it's terrible. Look, it's like leaking out the sides for some reason. Because when you open it, it gets all around the lip, and then there's just no, I mean, you got to clean it off if you take the time to do that. Which I did not, obviously. So I've got sesame dressing, which is amazing, by the way. If you've never tried sesame dressing, you have to try it. It's really, really good. Carrots, here we go. 2 carrots, 4,700. This one's 51. So, you know, about 5,000 for 2 carrots, not bad. Here we've got some, like a flan type of, you know, caramel pudding, whatever. I'm not sure what you would really call this in the West. It too was 50% off, so I picked them up because this stuff doesn't go bad that quick either. So originally it was 37K down to 18K. So $1 Canadian, like 75 cents US. Can't complain about that. Can't complain about that. Yakult. I like my Yakult every once in a while. Or do you say Yakult? 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 I don't know. In Japanese it's pronounced Yakult. Yakurto. Anyway, 25K for this, so not too bad. Not too bad. You know, it keeps the whole microbiome in balance. Here we've got yogurt, more microbiome balance. 94K for one. So, wait, that's not right. 9,400, sorry. So just under 10,000 for one. So about 55 cents Canadian, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's not too bad. I think in other places it's often like $1 Canadian, give or take, right? Now, this one is like a specialty, you know, walnut flavor. So this one I think is a bit more expensive. This blueberry stuff that was made by True, which is like a milk company here, it was cheaper. It was like 7,500. So about 20% less than the other one. Here's like a Greek yogurt. This one I think was also around 9,500-ish. Pomegranate. I had higher hopes. It didn't taste as good as I hoped. This one was good though. This one, anyway, they're all pretty good, but some are better than others. Okay, these I bought from a street side seller. Grapes. Look at that. All of that. 20,000. 20,000. Look at that. 6 nectarines. I think they're nectarines. They look like nectarines. 20,000. What is it? 20,000. It's like 90 cents US or something like that. Crazy. 90 cents. They also have like mango and papaya, all kinds of things. They have. If you go to the street side sellers, you can get fruit for wicked cheap. You know, all kinds of things. Melon. What do they have? Melon, mango. Jackfruit, which is pretty good. Anyway, all kinds of things for cheap, unbelievably cheap. The fruit here is so cheap, it's amazing. Okay, we got cheese. Now this one I've already opened up. It's Parmesan. It's like a fresh Parmesan block. I've already opened it. I've already used probably maybe, I don't know, let's say a quarter. So this is like 3/4 of what's left here is about 3/4 of what was there. And I paid 89,000. So not super cheap, you know. It was like, you know, about 550 Canadian, give or take, for a little piece like that. But you need the fresh stuff when you want to make. Well, I like the fresh stuff sometimes. Depends. Okay, here we have cream cheese, and it's Anchor, which is a New Zealand brand, so it's good quality. This was 26,000. 26,000, pretty good cream cheese. I quite liked it. I use it for making my ranch dressing. I tell you, the ranch dressing I make is amazing. It's amazing. And then we've got cheddar cheese. I don't know, there's no brand here. It's a bit more expensive, 65,000 for this, which is 210 grams. So just a little under half a pound for 65,000. And last but not least, now one thing that I have a problem finding is good quality meats for cheap. You know, they're not cheap, they're expensive here. And the other day I did buy a piece of beef. I think, actually I still have part of it in the fridge. So this is the piece of beef. And it's probably about half gone. So I think I ate about half already. And I think it was 88,000, if I recall correctly. Unfortunately, it was labeled filet, and I thought this doesn't look like filet, but what the hell? I just want beef, so I bought it anyway. It was absolutely horrible, the worst. I'm going to throw this out. I don't know why I put it back in the fridge, but this was the most tasteless and toughest beef I've ever had in my life. So I don't recommend buying your beef at the local mini mart. It's so hard. It's just so hard. So, and you know, 88,000, not cheap for how much beef I'm getting here. I don't remember how many grams it was, but it's not a lot of beef. So I find it very difficult to buy beef. So what I did, or beef or pork or anything, it doesn't really look like it's the best quality or the best cuts. So today I kind of splurged a bit. I went to a Korean shop. They have a few Korean shops around here, and they often have imported meats. I don't know where from, sometimes from the US, sometimes from Australia. They have beef. It's pretty expensive though. Today I opted for the pork belly, and this, whoop, it's kind of leaking because I'm defrosting it here, but it was 140,000. Can you see that? Is this in the right place? 140,000 for 500 grams. So 500 grams is a bit more than a pound, and 140,000 is just about, you know, a little over $8 Canadian, I think, something like that. So I don't know, not too bad, really, is it? Not terrible. I don't think that's a terrible price if this pork is good. So a pork belly, 140,000. I took a chance on it. There was a tray of beef, 500 grams, and it looked really good though. I mean, it looked like almost like Wagyu quality, you know, with the marbled fat and everything in it. It looked very, very nice, but it was 600,000 for a pound. So 600,000, about 120,000 per 100 grams. So, you know, you're looking at $7 Canadian-ish for 100 grams. $70 a kilogram. That's got to be some really good beef. And I didn't really feel like springing for that today. So, okay, give me a second. I'm going to come back. I'm going to put all this stuff back in the fridge. And then I'm going to come back with all the non-refrigerated stuff, and we can continue on. I forgot to mention eggs. 10 eggs cost me about 28,000. So what is that? Like $1.50 Canadian, give or take. So 10 eggs. Sometimes they're usually pretty good eggs. I have had a couple of dozens that came out not bad, but just, you know, the yolks were a little bit flat. They didn't sit up, and they weren't perky. And I like perky yolks. Okay, so all the refrigerated stuff is back in the fridge, and now I've got all my dry goods out. So let's go through this. Okay, get the big stuff out of the way. This is 6 rolls of toilet paper. Pretty densely packed. It says 3-ply tissues, 280 sheets each roll. This was on sale for 63,000. I think it was originally like 80 or 85. So I don't know, what's 63,000 on sale? What's that, like 350 Canadian-ish, something like that. Okay, rice. Now when it comes to rice, I do like Japanese rice, probably because I lived there for so long. And so I do feel that when it comes to plain rice anyway, I like my basmati, I like jasmine, I like all those, but when it comes to plain white rice, for me, you can't beat Japanese, so I bought the import stuff. I don't know if it's imported or if it's made in Vietnam, but anyway, it wasn't too bad actually. 2.5 kilos for 81,000, so not bad. I don't know what the brand is, but it tastes pretty good, tastes pretty good. Here we got a bottle of bleach for 11K, pretty cheap. Okay, so here you're gonna find out just how much junk food I eat. We'll wait, we'll get to the junk food in a minute. Here we've got some green tea powder that I wanted to try. I paid 33,000, 34,000, somewhere around there. Here's some olive oil. I have no idea if this brand is supposed to be good or not. Oh, this stuff was 109,000. So yeah, $7 Canadian-ish, somewhere in there, for 250 mils of extra virgin olive oil. So, you know, I mean, it's got to be imported, so I don't expect to get this kind of stuff very cheap. You know, anything that's imported is going to be more expensive. This stuff, I honestly don't remember. It's vinegar. It's rice vinegar? I'm not sure. I'm not sure where this vinegar comes from, but anyway, it's vinegar. And I don't remember exactly the price, but I think it was probably about 20,000 or maybe even less. I'm not sure. Anyway, it wasn't very expensive. Here we've got mustard. This mustard I had to buy at Moon Milk, which is the import shop. 42,000 for that. So what's that? 250 Canadian. Not super cheap for mustard. Peanut butter. This peanut butter, I don't know if this company is Vietnamese or not, called Golden Farm. But this is pretty decent peanut butter. Tastes pretty much the same as Skippy or Jif, for me anyway. And it was 55,000. So not super cheap, but it's affordable. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you have to treat yourself to the foods you like, you know. And if it costs a couple of bucks more, so what? Just pay it. Be happy. You got to be happy eating. If you can't be happy eating, then, you know. Here I got some butter cookies, Danish butter cookies. I don't really remember if this was 65 or 75. I'm just going from memory because I did not write down the price. But anyway, I know it was one of the two, 65 or 75. And, you know, you get a bunch of cookies. I like my cookies. Okay, aluminum foil wrap. This stuff was 25K for a roll of 30 centimeters by 7.6 meters. Okay, Remo Cookies. These are pretty much the same as Oreo. They also have other types, other flavors, but these are pretty much the same as Oreo. And they were only 5,400, so like 30 cents Canadian, like 23 cents US for all of this. It's crazy. Crazy. That's a good deal. Or at least I think it's a good deal. I don't know, maybe they're cheaper in the States. But here, soda crackers, pretty expensive, 35K for 4 of these packs. So not super cheap for crackers, but when I'm eating cream of mushroom soup, I gotta have these crackers. I can't eat it without those crackers. Here, we've got little single servings of royal milk tea made by Blendy, Japanese company. So good quality stuff here. 37K for this box. It was on a bit of sale. I think normal price is 40,000, but yeah, not too bad. You know, 25 cents per packet, Canadian. Cashews. Now, if you come to Vietnam, cashews are a wicked steal. I've never seen cashews this cheap, so I've been just eating a bunch of cashews while I'm here. I got 2 of these. These are 250 grams each, and I had 2 of these, so 500 grams, a little over a pound, right? For 230, was it 2? No, 130. Let me check. The price is on the other container. The other container's over there. Yes, 130,000 dong. So 130,000 dong is what, like 750 Canadian for over a pound of cashews? And they're good cashews. They're great cashews. That's super cheap, super cheap. So if you like cashews, Vietnam is the place for you. I like to have noodles around just to, you know, for something quick and easy to make sometimes in the middle of the night, you know. This stuff's cheap. It's like 5,000, so about 30 cents Canadian. Less than 30 cents Canadian for that. Spices. I did buy some spices the other day. I bought some garlic powder. There's way more than what I need here, but whatever. 34K. So it actually, you know, it was, you know, was that like $2 Canadian? A bit more than I needed to spend, but whatever. Onion powder, 17,000 for about the same amount, so that's cheaper. And parsley flakes for 13,000, so, you know, whatever. Like 60 cents, 50 cents US, somewhere around there. Pretty cheap, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. For a couple of bucks, I got the spices I needed, because I needed these to make my ranch dressing, or ranch dip, I guess. It's not really dressing, it's dip. I use it for like cauliflower and carrots and stuff like that. Dishwashing liquid. This was cheap, I think. It was about 15, I think it was 15,000. Dong. What's next? Kitchen paper towels. 2 rolls for 40,000. Yeah, 2 rolls of this Paseo brand for 40,000. Not terrible. Not cheap, but not terrible. Okay, now we're getting into the junk food. I like to have a stock of junk food. Go ahead, make your comments. I don't know how I'm still alive. It's kind of neat. Okay, now here's the thing. When it comes to junk food, if you like the stuff that you're used to, you're going to pay for it. And it is expensive. It is a treat. You know, you don't want to be going through bags and bags of this stuff every day. So get ready to be shocked at the price of this. So a bag of imported, they're marked for export. So these are imported Lay's salt and vinegar chips, 99K. That's almost $6 Canadian for a bag of this stuff, you know. And when I was in Canada, we would buy 2 for $5, right? So this is over double the price. But every once in a while, you know, you need to have your treats. Here's another one. Export nacho cheese Doritos, a smaller bag. The salt and vinegar was 184 grams. This stuff is 65 grams for 30,000. So they're not cheap. The imported chips are not cheap. This one's going to blow you away because I like nachos. You know, I like to have nachos. You know, cheese nachos. So tortilla chips, and of course the best tortilla chips, aside from handmade, if you can get those, I guess. And even then, that would depend on who's making them. But Tostitos. So for a bag this size, which is 283 grams, this was 140,000 dong. So like over $8 Canadian for this. That's a lot. That's a lot. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, right? Okay. Now, here's the thing about chips, okay? When you come here, you will see Lay's has a local version, and this tripped me up the first time. They have, you know how Lay's, the yellow bag is the regular chips, right? It's just potato chips, you know, all vegetable oil and salt, right? So those regular chips, they have regular chips here. Yellow bag, right? Plain. You're looking at it, you know, there's a little salt shaker on the thing, if I recall correctly. So you figure, hey, that's cheap. You buy it, and then you taste it and you're like, wait, something's wrong. It doesn't taste like normal Lay's should taste. And that's because if you look at the ingredients list, it's not just potatoes, oil, and salt. They add a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know why they do that, but I've seen it in several Southeast Asian countries. I've seen it here, I've seen it in Indonesia, I think I've seen it in Malaysia as well. In the Philippines, they just have the export versions, which I always bought. But in these 3 countries anyway, they have the local version, and pretty much every local version of plain potato chips includes all these additives. Like cornstarch, like if you look at that list, it's like cornstarch and sugar. Like, and this is on plain flavored chips. I don't understand it. But they have all kinds of extra things that just give you a really funky taste. So if you like plain Lay's, and you don't want that strange taste, you're gonna end up having to buy the export versions. Otherwise, the local flavors, some of them are pretty interesting. This one, Brazil barbecue pork rib flavor. It's pretty good. I quite like this one. They also have some Manhattan steak one that other people seem to like. I tried it. I didn't like it that much, but a lot of people have said that they really like those. So aside from the plain chips, the other flavors, they're okay. They're okay. Depends what you like. Okay, pasta. 39,000 for this, which is also 500 grams, so a little bit more than a pound. 39,000. Yeah, it's not cheap for pasta compared to what you can get in the West, but whatever. This stuff I thought was pretty cheap. 21K for caramel popcorn. You know, under $1 US for this. I think that's a pretty good price. Every time I see caramel corn, it's always really, really expensive. So, not too bad. Pringles Chips. These taste, I believe, they taste like back home as well. And these are much more reasonably priced than the Lay's, I think. This is 33K for a can of 110 grams. They also have like the larger can. I think it's 45K, if I recall correctly. But yeah, that's all right if you like Pringles. Okay, so what's next? What's next? Oh yes, let me introduce you to this. Excuse me. Corona. So these things are incredible. If you have never tried these, I don't know where they're made. They're made by like the name is Oishi, which sounds like a Japanese company, but I'm not sure that it is. Oh well, it says Singapore, so they might actually come from Singapore. I'm not sure. Anyhow, these things, they're cheap and they're great. They're only like, I think at the supermarket they were 8,000, and if you buy them at the local Vinmart Plus, they're 10,000. So, you know, 60 cents Canadian for a bag this size. That's crazy, and they're really, really good. They're just like this kind of crunchy exterior with a little bit of cream. This one is coconut flavored. What a great snack and cheap. So definitely recommend these if you ever get a chance to try them. Here, if you like chocolate, they have the Ritters. Now they have, of course, depending on which one you buy. I think this one, if I recall correct, I'm going from memory on this one, 65,000. Basically, it depends which one, like which flavor. They have like the plain chocolate, they have the macadamia with white chocolate, so they have almonds. So depending on which one you buy and where you buy it, you'll pay anywhere between, I think for the plain chocolate is like 50,000, 55,000, and you can pay up to about 70,000 for like the white chocolate macadamia. But if you go to the right place, you can get the same one for 60,000. So anyway, somewhere between 55 to 70,000 for one of these. And oh yeah, I might as well tell you about this. These I bought at a local bakery. Cookies. This was cheap. It was like 15,000 for 5 cookies. They have like a cashew nut on top. They're pretty good. They're okay. They're not the best cookie in the world, but they're not bad. They're certainly worth, you know, 70 cents US or whatever it was. Bread. This I've got about half the loaf left. Normally when it's new, it goes up to about here. And this loaf of bread was about, pretty sure it was $15,000. So yeah. And last, let's throw in 250 grams of butter. Depending on what brand you're buying and where you buy it, they have this New Zealand butter called West Gold, which I paid 77,000 for 250 grams, so a little bit more than half a pound. And if you get, like, I think there's some French butter called Président or something like that, President brand, and I think it's a little bit more expensive, like, I don't know, 100,000 or something like that. So butter, depending if you're brand specific or whether you care about that or not, but you can get butter for anywhere between, you know, just under 80,000 up to about 110,000 for 250 grams. So, but yeah, so that's it. I think that's it. I think we're done. Wait, one more thing. Soup base. Don't remember how much I paid for it. I think it was about 30,000, and I got a whole bag of soup base. And that's it. That is the end of the video. those are the prices that I paid for all of these things. I hope this was informative for you. If it was, don't forget, like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed and you like to get this kind of information. And also, you know, feel free to share it with your friends. Help me grow the channel. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I will see you again in the next one. If you have any questions, don't forget to put them down in the comments. Bye.